With this quote by Dr. Herbert Simon, a Nobel laureate and former university professor at Carnegie Mellon University, authors Susan Ambrose, Michael Bridges, Michelle DiPietro, Marcia Lovett, and Marie Norman kick off their seminal book, How Learning Works: 7 Research-Based Principles for Smart Teaching. Dr. Simon's quote is well chosen by the authors, as it sets the precedent that learning only happens when the learner thinks or does something. If the learner is not engaged in the learning process, learning will not occur. Correspondingly, and perhaps frustratingly, as instructors, you can only advance learning by influencing what a student does. The authors of How Learning Works wrote their book to bridge the gap between learning research, that is, the science of learning, and teaching practice, the science of teaching. In their own words, the authors sought to create a model of student learning that enables instructors to make sound teaching decisions. To create such a model, the authors synthesized knowledge from their collective years of professional practice and summarized several fundamental questions that instructors frequently ask themselves pertaining to student learning. Such questions included: why can't students apply what they have learned? Why do students cling so tightly to misconceptions? Why are students not more engaged with material I find so interesting? Why do students claim to know so much more than they actually know? And why do they continue to employ the same ineffective study strategies? To address such questions, and to fulfill their promise of delivering a model of student learning that enables faculty to make sound teaching decisions, the bulk of How Learning Works addresses 7 principles of learning. Those 7 principles, each of which we will explore further in subsequent videos, are as follows. 1. Students' prior knowledge can help or hinder learning. 2. How students organize knowledge influences how they learn and apply what they know. 3. Students' motivation determines, directs, and sustains what they do to learn. 4. To develop mastery, students must acquire component skills, practice integrating them, and know when to apply what they have learned. 5. Goal-directed practice, coupled with targeted feedback, enhances the quality of student learning. 6. Students' current level of development interacts with social, emotional, and intellectual climate of the course to impact learning. And 7. To become self-directed learners, students must learn to monitor and adjust their approaches to learning. So why should you heed these principles? According to the authors, the principles provide instructors with an understanding of student learning that can help them see why certain teaching approaches are not supporting student learning, generate or refine teaching approaches and strategies that more effectively foster student learning in specific contexts, and transfer and apply the principles to new courses or subsequent iterations of the same course. What's more, these are powerful principles because they are research-based, domain-independent, experience-independent, and cross-culturally relevant. If you would like to read more from this introductory chapter of How Learning Works, see the OU Library permalink in the video description. Next month, we will examine Chapter 1 of How Learning Works, focused on the principle, how does students' prior knowledge affect their learning?